Okay, just a little bit more on Bob Lazar. This is a documentary that was done some time ago. Bob Lazar is explaining Element 115 from Area 51 from the Finding UFO channel. I'll leave a link to this video below. But here Bob Lazar demonstrates, he contradicts himself, of course, because he's making it all up. And he also demonstrates that he knows absolutely nothing whatsoever about physics. Now, this is appropriately from the, although it's on the Finding UFO channel, the actual original documentary was on the Sci-Fi channel. How appropriate. Okay, so let's just see. I've made a couple of quick notes here. It's going to be a pretty short video, just with the timings. So let's just see what Bob Lazar is saying about the UFO's gravity propulsion system.
With a gas. When matter and antimatter react, they convert to 100% energy. This energy is converted, heat energy, is converted to a...
Okay, so remember what he just said there, where matter and antimatter meet each other. It's a what do you call it? A total annihilation reaction, and it's 100% conversion into energy. That is heat energy. Now, just listen to that again. So we're just going to go back here. It's quite late at night. I'm a bit tired, but I think that was the gist of what he was saying. We'll just listen to that again. And press play might help, mightn't it?
When matter and antimatter react, they convert to 100% energy. This energy is converted, heat energy, is converted...
Yeah, so heat energy, okay? So remember what he said, when matter and antimatter collide, they produce heat energy, okay?
Converted to electrical power in the reactor.
This heat energy is converted into electrical power that runs these gravity generators. Now remember what he said about the heat energy.
Reactor itself. This is done through a thermoelectric converter, and this electrical power is used to power other subsystems on the craft, though there is no wiring, as we would know it. Also,
doesn't tell us, of course, how the electricity is distributed around the vehicle, around the craft. His imagination doesn't quite stretch that far.
That's almost a byproduct of the reactor. The reactor also sets up a gravitational wave from the 115 being bombarded. This gravitational wave is present at the top of the reactor and is essentially guided in the same way microwaves are guided, through tuned tubes.
Yes, okay, well, he's got a 30-foot diameter saucer and he's showing these three things at the bottom. They're probably about as big as dustbins, so his gravity waves. His gravity waves are going to have to be pretty small. Now, bear in mind here, he's talking about gravity propulsion. It's generating gravity waves. Now, it would have to generate more gravity, considerably more gravity than a black hole. To be able to move itself around, in space, his little 30-foot diameter spacecraft. And okay, we'll let him rattle on a little bit.
And this goes to their amplifying cavities and through the projectors that are in the bottom of the craft.
With the gravity generators running, is there thermal radiation danger to the crew?
There is no thermal radiation while the reactor's running.
There is no thermal radiation while the reactor's running. Well, didn't he just say that that the matter and the antimatter were converted into the reaction causes a lot of heat, which is then turned into electricity? So suddenly there's no heat.
The thermionic generator is 100% efficient, which is in violation of the first law of thermodynamics.
More drivel. So what? So he's saying. So a few seconds ago he was saying that generates this reaction, this matter-antimatter reaction generates heat, which is then converted into electricity. Now he's saying there is no heat. Now, if you're talking about generating more gravity than a black hole, that's going to take an awful lot of energy. And of course, if you're converting heat energy into electrical energy, which is going to power your gravity generators, can you imagine the amount of heat you would have to generate in order to generate enough electricity? Even assuming it could be done. To generate enough gravity to generate more gravity than a black hole, considerably more gravity than a black hole. So remember that the heat and assuming you could actually do this, which you can't. But if you could generate gravity waves using electricity, and you were going to use those gravity waves to pull your spacecraft through space, the amount of gravity that you would have to generate would squash the thing flat for a start. It would not be possible for us or anyone else to produce this much gravity because you need more gravity than a black hole. The amount of energy involved would be absolutely incredible, which means that the amount of heat involved, if you're converting the heat into electricity to power this thing, would be absolutely incredible. And anyone, standing within a planet's diameter from this thing would get incinerated, let alone sitting in a chair above. He showed the sketch earlier of his flying saucer. And 30-foot in diameter with an armchair above the gravity wave generators. Yeah, this is way beyond pathetic. Hang on, let's see if we can find this sketch here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's the sketch. Yes, there we are. Let's run that back a little bit. Can we play it maybe?
Apparently, is.
Yeah, there you go. So there's his flying saucer. And the alien, of course, this is the sort of flying saucer that a child might draw. And his little alien is going to be sitting here. He's got some windows to look out of, and he's got these three gravity generators that wiggle around underneath it. This, of course, is preposterous nonsense. And if you look at this video, and I think the timestamp, what was the timestamps for those comments he made? I think one was around the 2 minutes 30 mark, where he's talking about the reaction between his element 115 and this gas to produce an awful lot of heat, which is then turned into electrical energy. And then, of course, at 3:27, there he says there is no heat because it's 100% efficient. Yes, okay. So if there is no heat, how is the converter converting the heat into electricity, let alone generating the gravity waves? And remember, of course, that the actual amplitude of the gravity waves gravity waves are like ripples in space. They were only detected, I think, fairly recently, and they're planets wide. You couldn't make a tube to resonate gravity waves that was about as big as a dustbin. So 1 minute is his matter-antimatter reaction is generating an enormous amounts of heat, which is turned into electricity to power these things, and a minute later there is no heat. So this guy, for a physicist, knows very little about physics. Okay, that's more garbage from Bob Lazar. So it's even got a little antenna on the top. Look how cute. So they can talk to air traffic control using radio, which of course you can't do if you've got an interstellar spacecraft that's going to be operating at superluminal speeds, because your spacecraft's going to outrun your radio signal. Yeah, this is absolute bloody rubbish. More Lazar rubbish. But good for a laugh. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you're still thinking there might be something to Lazar's absolute bloody nonsense, perhaps that's given you some food for thought. And you might want to watch this video and the next couple, because there's bound to be other contradictory drivel in there. Personally, I put a line through Lazar a long time ago. I'm not going to waste my time watching all of the video or episodes 2 and 3. I think this tells us all we need to know. Well, if you struggled through the video to this point, congratulations, and perhaps I'll catch you again.